Hello everyone and welcome back to another DrAce video. Today I am going to show you how to get the best possible sector times in the circuit of the Sachsenring. Very difficult circuit in Sector 2, it's a bit of a pain in the arse, but we'll figure it out together. So of course guys, as always, controller overlay on the right hand side of the screen, that is the PS5 controller, and if you want to know what buttons do what, check out the description down below for a full list of every single button that I'm using for that particular controller. So, out of the Queckenberg then, with Marc Marquez, hit your ride height device and be very patient upon the acceleration. Charge down to the first corner and just as the pit lane exit ends right there, make sure you start braking. I would also recommend listening to the sound of the motorcycle. If you find that fifth gear is really revving out, that's when it's time to start braking. That's a great tip that I use for myself when braking into turn 1 here in the Sachsenring. So let's see that again. Of course, it's imperative to get the final corner done correctly. Only 13 corners here in the Sachsenring, so you can pretty much get through this circuit quite quickly, so you can have plenty of times to keep on practicing, and that's exactly what I would suggest to do. So start out to the Queckenberg, hit the ride height device, try and keep the front wheel down, move yourself over to the left hand side and listen to that engine noise. Just as it was screaming there, begging to go up to 6th gear, that's where we then start braking down. You don't need to reach 6th gear, start braking once you hear 5th gear max out. Move over to the left hand side, keep it in nice and tight and get across the sector time to achieve the gold. So now for Sector 2, this one was an absolute nightmare in MotoGP 23 and it still seems to be very difficult in MotoGP 24. So move into the right hand side here and start braking nice and early, get quite firm into the Omega corner and keep it in tight. Be patient with that acceleration, only use a bit, avoid the wheelie if you can and keep the bike in tight to those apexes. Now on the left hand side of the tyre once again, just be patient with the throttle, keep on pressing it and lean across to the left hand side, waiting for that moment to finally accelerate. I was extremely close to the goal here, but I was unable to get that elusive gold coloured target. So let's see this again. Out of the first corner, lean into the left hander for turn 2. Brake on an angle as well, guys. Of course, trail braking is key here in the circuit of the Sachsenring. You don't need to be just waiting to do it all under braking in a straight line. You can't do that here. You've got to really rely on trail braking. Now into left for turn 6. Again, just feathering that throttle, feeling when the tyre is beginning to slip, turning off the throttle and then reapplying to make sure we don't spin up the rear too much. So now for Sector 3, we're going to be done with the left-hander again. But as the same as we've been doing a moment ago with Sector 2, we're just going to be patient with the throttle, keep turning the bike in, wait for that opportunity to now go straight, bring on your acceleration and start braking right there at that white line on the right hand side of the circuit. I'll show you again in a moment as we now go into the left hand side. Very tight to the apex for turn 9, don't need to go quite that tight, but move over to the right, turn in nice and early and get across the line. Don't worry if you then exceed track limits, the game still allows the sector time to conclude. So now once again, turn 7 it is, keep it into the tight line, bring on the power, over to your right hand side, there's a white line, there's a white line, that second white line right there, start braking. That white line is on the green and you'll see it on the right hand side of your screen. Now into left hand side, keep it in tight to turn 10 and just when you get the bike straight, immediately turn over, hit the apex of turn 11 and dash down the waterfall section. So now for Sector 4, it is going to start where we've just ended at the waterfall section, but this time we need to ensure that we keep the bike on the track, so keep it in tight, patient with the throttle, bring on the power, upshift into 5th gear and start braking as you hit that LED panel or whatever it is on the right hand side of the screen, hit the rumble strip and use that as your braking. It really helps you glide in to the penultimate corner. Quite late there for the Queckenberg, as long as you hit the tight apex there, bring on your power. You can touch the rumble strip if you want to, but make sure you cross the line with the bike not wheeling too much. So now once again, left hand side, turn 10, bike straightens up, autopilot's going to move across, keep it in nice and tight. Again, you can hit the rumble strip here, but on the right hand side, there's your LED panel, start braking roughly where that is. Really ride that curb going into the Saxon curve. Not this apex here, but the brakes we just seen a moment ago. Brake nice and early where that little bit of a path on the right hand side is. Gentle to the apex, into the Queckenberg, hit your ride height device, power on, and across the line for a lap time, just 1/1000 of a second difference. So now it is time to take a look at 2 complete laps of the Sachsenring. As I mentioned at the start of the video, it's a very short track, so this is going to be really quickly now. So just slow it down if you want to. You can watch the video back as many times as you want, but I will show you twice to give you the best advice I can to achieve the gold lap time here in the Sachsenring. Bike starts to scream in 5th gear, start braking in. Look how much brake is being applied there on the left 2 button. If you've got to ensure that you can brake strong enough, but not enough or too much, should I say, so the front wheel locks. If it locks, gently remove ever so slightly a bit of brake. That way you can still get the stopping power, but you've got a bit more maneuverability within the front tyre. If you lock the brake, then you're not going to be able to turn. So ensure that you try getting used to that method of just reducing the brake once you feel it lock. The same can be said for the throttle here as well. When I reduce the throttle, it's because the tyre is beginning to spin. It's beginning to burn up and you lose grip. So that's why it's important to try and feather it where you can and when necessary. Tight the apex of turn 9 and again here for turn 10. You can really abuse the tight apex there, really get onto the curb and then move across to turn 11. Again, keep over to the left hand side but don't go too far. Hit the LED panel, start braking in nice and firm, and now move over to the left hand side. The beauty of hitting that corner like that allows you to carry speed into the Saxon curve. You brake, if you go too tight there, you'll not have the speed to then get onto the power going into the Queckenberg. Hit the ride out device again across the line, that is the gold. But of course, as I say, it's too fast to really keep up with that one, so let's do it once again. You can see here in the autopilot the difference actually between us braking over on the right hand side of the Saxon curve to braking on the tight apex. Certainly something I've found that helps a lot here in the Sachsenring. So now out of the Queckenberg, power on, cross the line, still wheeling ever so slightly, but it's not too bad. Look for the 5th gear, look over to your left hand side, LED panel, start braking in to turn 1. Look how much brake is being applied yet again, 90%, maybe a little bit more, 100% brake, the bike will lock up, and that's what you want to avoid as much as you can. Quite firm on the brakes there for the Omega corner. Reduce the brake immediately you start to feel the bike turning in at the correct speed, and then get back onto your power. Quick upshift there to 2nd gear and down to upshift to 3rd and back down to 2nd. So we now move over to the left hand side. Of course you can choose what electronics you want to use, but I am using TCS2, anti-wheelie 3, engine brake 3, and of course guaranteed you have to use power setting 3 for this particular challenge. Now over to the left hand side, you're going to lean in, start downshifting into 2nd gear again, hit the apex of turn 10 and move across the second the bike starts to straighten up. Hit that tight apex and get on the power. Move over to the right hand side, LED panel, there it is, start braking, turn in, utilising the nature of that curve. It sort of embanks you around into the 12th corner. Careful of abusing track limits and get onto the brakes. Little bit wide that time, so I had to use a bit more brake, but as all is well and good, we're going to cross the line with success once again. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Sachsenring, and this has been DrAce. So, guys, I certainly hope you've enjoyed this video. If it's been helpful, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you want to see more like this, ensure to subscribe for a lot more content. Guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next video tomorrow. Ciao for now. Oh, hi. Didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.